right, people. We got the biggest epic of all time.
Oh, yes.
What do you do to get an epic? You bring on a fucking A-list writer of Die Hard, 48 Hours, Commando, The Tomb Raiders, Bad Dreams, and The Running Man.
Yep.
Fucking A, right? And you get the fucker to direct it. You got the man himself, Stephen E. D'Souza. That's all you need? No. We're also going to throw in Jean-Claude Van Damme, God rest his soul, Raul Julia, multiple Academy Award-winning actor with films like Kiss the Spider Woman, The Addams Family. Then, I'm not even done. You bring in the new boy, Wes Studi, from Dances with Wolves, Michael Mann's Last of the Mohicans, Michael Mann's Heat. Are we done there? No way. You also bring in Miguel A. Nunez Jr. He's got over 150 credits to his name, including Demon. That's right. We've talked about him in the past. Ooh, baby. Ooh, baby. Man who gets fucking impaled while taking a shit and singing to his girl in Friday the 13th, Part 5, A New Beginning.
He plays DJ.
Now that is the icing on this cake of this fucking train wreck piece of shit Street Fighter.
Whoa, you've forgotten a very important ingredient. Not only did they do that, they went and hired pop star and star of Neighbours, Kylie Minogue, as Cammy.
I didn't mention her. I was actually bringing on people that had a career and talent behind them.
In the UK and Australia, Kylie was massive. And still is.
No, she's not. Come on.
As a pop star, she's massive.
No, she's not.
As a pop star,
no, she's not. No. She re-recorded Locomotion for the kids, and that was it. Okay, fuck off. And if you fucking mention Neighbours one more fucking time, are you the fucking producer of Neighbours or something? Is there something I don't know?
Right, okay. But whether you think she's any good or not is beside the point. She was still and still is a massive star in the UK and Australia. And you know what? I like Kylie, so do.
Ah, here we go. And this is where it shall begin. This is it, people. Because fucking Rain Man over here has got a hard-on for fucking Van Damme and this shit. So, and okay, you're going to give your review, but you cannot use the term 80s cheese. Because this is not the 80s. No. This is the 90s.
Yes, it's 94.
So you cannot go and compare this to the classics like Commando. All right? You cannot. If I hear 80s cheese or you say something, whoa, it's kind of like what they were doing in the 80s. No. No reference to the 80s at all.
And it's in the spirit of 80s cheese.
Yeah, you can't. That's it. That's the only fucking weapon you have. Because it's a lot better. That's probably a better weapon than what they had here because they're all toys. But, okay.
I love this film. It's so entertaining.
Jesus. So fucking.
And I admit that it's awful, but it makes me smile. It puts me in a good mood. It puts me in a good mood, this film.
It breaks my heart that this is Raul Julia's last film.
But you know what? Fair play to the guy. He did this for his kids. He was dying of cancer, sadly, tragically. And because his kids, like many kids, including myself at the time, were fans of the arcade game, which this is based on, he did it for them. And, you know, more power to him. You know, what a great way to sort of, you know, he did it for his family, his children. So, you know, rest in peace. Great guy for doing that.
Yeah.
And you know what?
And the flip side of that is your lead actor, Jean-Claude Van Damme, was doing $10,000 worth of coke a week and banging Kylie Minogue.
Yeah.
So
I would say,
he really gave it his all too. Yeah. So good on you, Van Damme.
I would say as well. Apparently, according to reports, apparently Van Damme was very difficult here to work with due to his presumably addictions.
Yeah, but I heard I've met the guy once.
What was he like?
Planet Hollywood. Where I was working for them and I was opening up one of the stores.
What was he like?
And I didn't really talk to him. He just did his famous kick.
Yeah.
He did that for pictures in front of the Planet Hollywood.
Right. Mm-hmm.
I met the lead guys, which was, Schwarzenegger,
Yes.
Willis. And
Yeah, I knew you'd met
Stallone.
them. Yeah.
Yeah, they were cool.
Yeah.
I never had a conversation with Van Damme. He was kind of standoff. He's tiny.
Yes. Yeah, I got the
He's
impression
tiny.
he was small. Kylie Minogue's tiny as well.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, he must have chucked her around like a rag.
I don't know. But apparently, according to reports,
I can see those two be like it'd be like those two Muppets from Teen America. Fuck.
yeah. Well, apparently though, while the cast and crew did not get on well with Van Damme, whenever they were filming this, apparently on the other hand, they absolutely loved Kylie because Kylie, well, she wasn't doing shitloads of coke for a start. But apparently she would have brought everyone, after a day filming, she would have brought everyone out for drinks and food on her. She would have, treated them, and that doesn't surprise me. She always comes across as very nice. Yes, her acting abilities are ropey at best. But
her acting abilities is two things. She winces a lot.
Yes.
And she's always out of breath.
Yes. Yeah.
And the big one is it always looks like she's taking an incredible shit in her face.
The emotional things.
Like,
yeah. Oh no,
like she's
powerful emotional stuff, And see, whenever she's doing like the kung fu stuff, and she's going drop kick. it's like my 3-year-old niece doing an impression of the Terminator. It's like watching a child.
There's a scene where after the boat explodes, you think they're dead, but they're not clearly.
Yes.
They ambush 3 guards, and she's kicking them. Yeah. There's Van Damme doing Van Damme. Van Damme is, badass with his kicks and shit.
Yeah, he can fly.
And then you got Ming Na Wen play Chun-Li. She's quite badass. Then you got fucking idiot Kylie Minogue, and she's like, yeah. It cuts to her face, and then she jumps on top of one of the soldiers and wraps her legs, and it's clearly a stunt double.
Oh yeah.
The stunt double is the funnest part because you can't, because Kylie Minogue's so bad in this or miscasted is because you can't picture her doing these.
She's completely miscast.
Yes, it's not like Van Damme. You can see you don't care because it's Van Damme. He can do what he wants. But this, you're still laughing, even though you got a stunt double who's doing the actual stunts and looking pretty impressive. You can't stop laughing because that girl is not Kylie Minogue, and that Kylie Minogue can't do this.
And then it cuts to Kylie Minogue with like the emotional face on her,
like that's it. She has that I'm out of breath bowel movement, kind of look, and she's like, it's so stupid.
I mean, To be fair, though,
there we go.
They do sort of stick to the game, where they give her the wee catchphrases like, Cammy in the game. She's actually the character in the game is actually British, but I'm presuming that Kylie couldn't do a convincing enough British accent, so they made her Australian. So, but Cammy actually does in the game say those wee things like whenever she does a drop kick, just in case. The people don't know that it's a drop kick. She goes, drop kick.
Yeah.
And all round, do stay true to the characters of the game here. There's no story to the game, obviously, as we discussed before this podcast. It's just fighting. But, so they've got a bit of a job on their hands anyway to create a story around these characters.
No, they don't.
But they stay
what's
true
the job
to
on
the
their
characters.
hands? How hard is it to create characters? They have names.
Yeah. No, but they stay true to the...
what do they stay true to?
Well, basically, they keep the characters from the game. It's not like...
No said.
And yes, they sort of, there's a lot of sort of additional backstory that gives them credit to them, where like Raul and Ken are basically hustlers, for example.
Yeah, let's talk about, let's stop there for a second. Let's talk about those fuckers and Victor. It's pretty much, because the movie's geared around really Ryu, Ken, and Victor.
Yes.
And Chun-Li.
Yes.
Those are the characters. And then Van Damme, Kami, and Bison are kind of the wraparound characters.
Yes.
But it's those ones you're focusing on. And it's really the day in the life of a con artist, because that's what Ken and Ryu are.
Yes, and they go on a journey. And we talk about arcs. They do go on an arc. And even Ken...
Oh, my God. I've said that so serious. You actually said that seriously?
Ken, at the end, has a Han Solo moment where he says, where he be selfish and goes to take himself off. And then... But he decides not to, and to come back and fight for his mate Ryu and the good guys. Zangief, the Russian guy, The stupid Russian guy. He's a character in the game as well. He has an arc where he turns good in the end and helps him.
Wow, very powerful. Wow.
Maybe
I'm seeing this film I'm seeing this film now in a different light. Thank you, Trevor.
In the country of Shabalubu or whatever you call it.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck it is. Jesus Christ. I just want to, ooh, baby. Ooh, baby.
DJ is a character and the game. All of the characters are here.
But it's not that hard to do that. You do realize that.
I know.
Okay, let's get that over. Okay, anyone can just put a name. Okay, oh my God, how do we do Street Fighter? I got it. We'll give them the names.
I was a bit...
Okay.
I am disappointed.
That's it.
That we didn't see more of Blanca and Dalsim, who here is Dr. Dalsim, played by the guy from Temple of Doom.
It's always good when that one guy from Temple of Doom.
Well, see that actor who plays Dr. Dalsim in this. He's a very serious Indian actor, British actor.
I think it's named Roshan Seth.
Yes.
Or something like that.
Well, he's on record as saying that, whenever he came on the set, he knew he was going to be playing this mad scientist and stuff. And he was asking serious questions about how to approach the role and stuff and what's this character's motivations and all this here. He said nobody knew. So he just gave up and just did what he was told. Here it was. He just whatever,
That's what everyone was told.
Yeah.
Simon
Callow's in here as well. Very serious British actor, plays Charles Dickens a lot.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, so he kidnaps 150 hostages, including Charlie. That's one of our boys' best friends.
Yeah, Guile.
He becomes a freak man, and he does it with. They do it. This is so stupid. It looks like bags of Gatorade. And they're putting the IV in him, and they're showing him hostile videos.
Yeah, Clockwork
So
Orange.
they're pretty much just they're doing a Clockwork Orange here, right?
Yeah.
And we'll save the outcome because it's the funniest fucking moment in the entire film, and there's a lot of them.
It's a cross between Frankenstein's monster, the Clockwork Orange, and the Incredible Hulk.
I always wait for go. Charlie's sad. Charlie upset.
Don't make me angry. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry. I was waiting on that.
Terrible. Everything in this film looked terrible. Everything. The clothing designs, the camouflage they were wearing. What was with the pink? Everything.
They're keeping with the character's outfit.
Terrible.
From the game.
Terrible.
I don't think it's that bad. I think the set design and stuff's pretty good.
Oh my God. It looks something. It looks like from a game show. It's horrible.
Who saves
you can
this
tell
film?
us. What?
Right.
Don't jump. We're not. It's just about the scenery. This isn't about something else.
Okay, fair enough.
I'm talking about the scenery.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it's...
Okay, so if you jump in and you start talking about...
It's
fucking...
Decent. The scenery and all, and the set design and stuff, and
terrible.
It's
right up there, King Solomon's Mines.
No,
right up there, King. They took it. Yes, it is.
It's a million times better.
The only decent set piece fuck off. The only decent set piece they have here is the fucking thing he floats on. That's kind of cool.
Yeah,
and it's geared up like the game console.
That's right.
Looks like,
which is a nice note.
Yeah, that's a nice. There you go. That's it. That's it. Because the outfit that fucking Bison wears, he's got these armor pieces that look like plastic that you can see it shaking. It's so cheap and it's terrible.
But it's the same costume that he wears in the game, so at least they're being true to that.
Don't give a shit.
Well, you should if you're a gamer.
Why would you give a shit if it looks like this?
I'm not even a gamer. That's the best about it. But
why would
I grew up as a teenager.
You be okay with this outfit, knowing it looks like that? It looks like something you would build in your basement when you're going to kindergarten school and you have to dress up as a robot. And you're saying the Hulk thing's good looking? That's good. That's good. That's good. That's cool too. That's good looking. The Hulk. What do you got to say about Charlie's makeup?
It's possible in terms of the costume.
Oh my God!
For the type of film this is, I mean, let's face it, this ain't Shakespeare, and it's not meant to be. Even though sort of Raul is sort of playing it like a Shakespearean villain. But again, like Langella does in Masters of the Universe, which we've just discussed.
Langella.
Yeah. But you know what I mean? To me, the design and the costume design and all, it's possible.
The design work in He-Man, the Masters of the Universe, came out 7 years earlier, is 3,000 times better than this.
I think it's possible here.
3,000.
I think it's
This
possible.
isn't passable. This is crap. This is terrible.
Well, we'll agree.
And
to
this is
disagree.
worse than a Canon film that came out 7 years earlier.
And this is more entertaining to me.
No, it's not. It's wow. So Bison wants to create the super soldier and build what I think is a city, Bisonopolis, or something like that.
Yes.
That's crap.
What is basically his face printed on the money?
Is Chun-Li a ninja?
Yes, but she's also a reporter, a journalist. Yeah.
Of course she is.
And
My
also,
apologies.
the reason she's after Bison is because he basically went into her village and basically massacred them all, including her family.
Yeah, and Van Damme has, here's the best part. Here's the best, fucking stupid. He gets a plan with Ryu and Ken. Ken's supposed to shoot him.
Yes.
Right? And then he dies.
Yeah.
Which was the worst.
That was so
This was the,
you know?
it was terrible. And there's Kylie Minogue crying. I'm like, oh, fuck me. This is terrible. Okay. Meryl Streep here. And he must be holding in his breath. I mean, I love,
Yeah.
And here's the best part. So Chun-Li breaks in.
Yes.
To the war headquarters where he's been taken, whatever.
Yes. In the morgue.
And she's got her ninja gear on. And she's flipping around doing her thing. And she gets there. And he's still lying there in the morgue, not breathing.
Yeah.
So, and he pops up. And she's like, what? And then they all,
gotcha.
We knew you'd be here. So you've been playing dead for like 6 hours?
Yeah. It's
when everyone in that room knows you're not dead?
It's a complete contrivance for the sake of a stupid joke, where it's basically like, whenever you were a kid, you used to put a blanket around you and go, boo. It's basically that type of joke, So all of this contrivance.
That's terrible.
Joke.
That's really bad. And then there's a line where you got to go. You can't be here.
Yeah.
This is not about a personal vendetta.
I think.
And then she leaves, and then he's like, it's about mine. What the fuck?
This time it's personal with Van Damme. Yeah. He says, it's not about your personal vendetta, and then when she leaves, it's about mine. Yeah. Because I think it's worth establishing as well that, his character, Van Damme's character, Guile, basically works for the Allied forces who's in this country, this made-up country of Shabalubu or whatever, I don't know, to basically take down the evil dictator, Bison, and that's pretty much it. But also there's gun runners in the background, Sagat and Vega, with the mask and the claw. They're also...
Victor.
Yeah. Victor
That's West Studi.
Yeah. Yes, I know, and he's actually decent in this. So he is. All things considered, he has a presence. So there's actually quite a lot going on in this script. No,
I love how you like. Wow, you're saying this is a great script. Wow,
it's decent. You know what?
Oh my god, dude!
Decent script.
Dude,
there's
it's
a lot
not
going
a decent
on.
script.
Yes,
it's
silly.
terrible.
It's extremely silly.
It's terrible.
No, it's extremely silly. But they're doing the best of with a lot of silliness. If you know what I mean.
They're doing their. Oh, they're not. Steven Souza, there's no 35 million budget, and no, I won't.
You couldn't have played this too serious. It's based on
He-Man. Again, I'm going to go back. He-Man wasn't even close to that budget, and they pulled it off. This doesn't. Not even close. This is terrible. It's considered one of the worst movies ever made, and it definitely is.
It's it's extremely
but
silly.
You like it. No, you just give everything passes because it's stupid silly.
No.
You don't look at competency. You don't look at the actors who are actually in it who are competent. You don't look at the director or the writer behind it, who is the same thing, but who should give us more.
Yes.
That's my point. That's why I made that intro at the beginning. Everyone involved in this film should have gave us more. The only one who did was the one who was dying, sadly, is Raul Julia. And then, I'm sorry, Steven Souza is to blame for this. Of course he is. And Van Damme. And these guys are A in their game.
I'm not saying this is
give
a
us
good
this
film.
shit. That's the problem.
I'm not saying this
shouldn't be
film.
like this.
I'm not saying this is a good film. I'm saying it's bad.
You always do that, though. You say You give movies passes for being shit. I understand if they're Ed Wood style, where God, they're silly idiots. He's trying his best. God love him. This isn't Ed Wood. This is a serious budget, serious people behind the producing team, serious director and writer, serious cast, and this gets a pass from you because it's silly. It's not supposed. This is terrible, terrible filmmaking.
It's trashy fun. It's entertaining. But I'm not saying that is not me saying that it is good filmmaking or it is in any way competently made, apart from Raul Julia. You know, and there's a few sort of good bits and pieces in here. I am sort of winding you up as well, but I'm making points too. But like Ed Wood, this is there's still
you can't say like Ed Wood.
No,
it's not like Ed Wood. That's my point. I just said that to you.
No, yes,
I just said that to you. Ed Wood wasn't a competent filmmaker. Was not a comp. That was the whole point of Ed Wood and his charm.
Yes, I understand.
He was a fanboy first.
But this film has charm too. That's what I'm saying.
No, it doesn't.
It does to me.
No, it doesn't.
And maybe it's nostalgia reasons because I'm not a gamer. I've never been a gamer, really. But as a kid, a teenager, I loved playing the arcade version of Street Fighter 2. And this is actually based on Super Street Fighter 2. Just want to make that clear. But
oh yeah, for all you fans out there, just want to make that clear.
No, I mean, don't get me wrong. I know this is complete and utter nonsense and badly made nonsense, but to me there is some likable about the silliness and just the pure nonsensical over-the-topness of it. I just enjoy it. It makes me smile. I enjoy this. I come away from watching this anytime I watch it in a good mood. I can't help it. It's just the way I am. You know what I mean? And yes, there's nostalgia there. Because I was such a fan of the arcade game and stuff, and it brings me back to whenever I was 15 and hanging about with my mates, at the back of that shop and playing the arcade game, and it was a good time and stuff. So maybe I am tainted by nostalgia, but I'm not in any way saying this is a good film. It's complete and utter nonsense, but I always enjoy it. I have a real soft spot for it.
So
sue me.
Move on. That's great. You said it's the best film ever made. That's fine. That's you. That's what you like. So the government are just going to pay the $5 billion.
Yes.
Who's going to pay $5 billion for 150 people? No government's going to pay that for 150 people.
Yeah, they could in reality, but they wouldn't either. You know what I mean?
I know, but they decide they're going to do it. And then Jean-Claude Van Damme gets up on the podium in front of 20 people. 20 people. We got to do this for us, blah, blah, blah.
Who's with me?
Yeah. And they all go with him. So they're all going to disobey the government, which would never happen, but okay.
This is basically what happens is mutiny. This is a rebellion against the Allied governments, which would...
I love how you're really reading... I love how you're like Steve Zalian wrote this for Spielberg. I love how you're trying to really flesh out the characters and the story. There's nothing here. You're really taking it to the next level.
You're
making
seriously.
It sound smarter than it is.
Yeah.
You're trying to find a smart egg here, and there isn't.
I love Simon Callow was the the uptight sort of British politician type. It's pantomime stuff, but yeah. So they decide to go and get Bison. But they've also got Ken and Raul who are on the cover.
Yeah, they got Lee. They got Lee too. Mm-hmm. And there's a scene where she's trying to manipulate, flirt with Bison.
Yeah.
It's so bad.
I know.
And he goes, I know women very well.
You know what?
And I know Sunfish. He goes, I know women very well. And I know you're harmless. And then she goes, I wanted you to think that. And she busts through her fucking chains or whatever it is. I'm like, oh, fuck off.
Yeah. You know what is, there's no denying this is not a brilliant line. This is just a superb line where she gives this whole emotional story about, killing her family and her village and all this here. And then he can't remember it. And it brilliantly delivered by Raul Julia goes, for you, me killing your family was the most important day of your life. But for me, it was Tuesday. That you cannot argue that is a brilliant line and brilliantly delivered.
I love how you use brilliant.
Oh, but I know that's fucking comedy gold and just sort of just brilliant line.
So The Hulk's revealed. This is terrible. This just gets worse
then
and
Dr.
worse.
Dalsim then has a change of heart. Well, I think he was always like a good guy. He just sort of.
It seems like all the bad guys that Bison had all become kind of good guys, like
Yeah.
Victor and DJ technically, and
Yeah.
then you had Ryu and Ken. Ken mainly gets his full arc, and then you've got his big henchman dude. You got all these guys who seem to, oh yeah, okay, we're cool.
Yeah, even sort of Sagat and Vega and DJ all sort of team up at the end as well. But yeah. Also, E. Honda's in there as well, and the boxer guy from the game,
I don't know. I don't care.
Yeah.
I love when Charlie the freak
Yes.
runs into Van Damme and he goes,
I know what you're going
he
to
goes,
say.
help me, please help me. And then
flashback
Van Damme goes,
scenes as
no,
well.
no problem. I'm going to help you. And he whips out the gun and just shoot him in the face.
Yes, mate. And we've already seen videos that he's watching on the boat on the way there, where they're like having dinner with their wives and girlfriends and stuff. So it's like the form this emotional connection between these two guys. And then next thing he's just like sort of blasé. Okay, I'll help you. And then he goes shoot him in the head. Only Dr. Dalsim stops him.
Yeah, the villain stops him.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, and even Charlie's quite coherent.
Yeah.
He knows who he's. He goes, help me, and he's going to shoot him.
No.
He even like, don't shoot me. Like, what the fuck?
Well, that's
This
because
is how you're going to help me.
the reason he's struggling between good and bad is because there's this whole conflict there, this sort of deep sort of internal conflict between going between good and bad is because Doctor.
Here we go.
It's because
Internal conflict.
it's because
There's no internal conflict.
no, there is because Dr. Dalsim has a change of heart whenever he's showing him the images. So he shows him like nice images of like, I don't know, fluffy bunnies and shit. So he's getting bombarded with like then two sets of images. It goes from Clockwork Orange to like fluffy bunnies and stuff. So like he's like part good and part bad. Again, and keeping with the character in the game, the internal conflict. I wanted to see more of Blanca. He's a big character in the games.
Yeah. Okay. Sure. Not bad. It's bad.
And I wanted to see Dalsim's stretchy arms and legs, which he has in the game. Presumably, they couldn't afford to go that far with the special effects we might have seen in the sequel.
And then Ken and Ryu have their moment when stops. He goes, Ken, I'm not leaving. I'm going back to help these people.
Han Solo.
And he goes, and he's like, hey, they're being paid to do this tonight. He goes, they're paying for this.
Yeah.
And they're being paid to fight. And Ryu goes, I have something worthwhile. I'm going back. And Ken's like, I don't understand. I knew you wouldn't.
But that's
Very powerful.
That's Ryu's character.
Don't start overanalyzing this.
Ryu has become, over the course of the events, he's rediscovered his humanity. So he has. Ken does. He's just as well later on, but he's just a bit delayed on it. So this is all about character arcs. This is a character piece. This whole thing.
Oh God!
I mean, look at the character.
I love how Doc and Charlie decide to stay in the freak show place to try to fix them.
Yeah.
We're going to stay here. And we're
do
gonna,
the right thing.
Yeah, I'm going to help this freak.
Yeah.
I'm going to do the right thing. It's very powerful. Very powerful.
Very, yeah. Oh, yeah, totally. Yeah, it really hits you, and it's a real emotional core,
And then fucking Bison gets electrocuted, and then he's got a built-in reviving suit that gives him adrenaline and pumps his heart back up.
Again, and keep him with the game, because in the game, he can like turn electric and fly. So, at least.
Yeah. I didn't see those ropes at all when he was flying. That wasn't, look at this trickery, what witchery that he could do this.
They're actually a good bit, whatever, in the comment before the final fight where Van Damme does a guile kick from the video game, but he's basically flat, but he's obviously clearly on ropes as well.
And the ending, when all of a sudden there's a photograph of him, they're all paused.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He's like, what the fuck did this come from?
They do the big jump up and go, yeah!
So stupid. Oh my God, this is terrible.
DJ has escaped with the money, but then he finds out that, he thinks that's him. He's basically a mercenary. He's basically shafting Bison. He's saying, I'm out of here, and he grabs the money, but it turns out the money's worthless because, and he's there with Victor Sagat and Vega and stuff. but it's a stupid money from earlier on with Ben Bison's. It's worthless. Ben Bison's face on it.
Yeah, it's a piece of shit. So 30 minutes, perfect. We can end this. We're done.
Drop kick.
Too bad the director didn't say that. Yeah, this is. I've got people know how I feel about it. No big deal.
I'll defend it.
So we're done.
And that while I appreciate and I agree with you that it is a big load of crap and a big load of nonsense and silliness, I can't help liking it. It's just a fun film. So it is. But each to their own. I'm happy to go against the general public's sort of opinion on this.
So thanks for listening. You can give us a shout at _podcast on Instagram and, of course, Facebook. I apologize for Trevor's comments and making this more than what it really was or is. And we'll just end with that.
Yeah.
And thank God we're going to better films now, because that ends bad cinema time. But we'll have to come back. I think we got to do Lost City of Gold.
Oh yeah, we'll have to follow it up.
Minds.
Yeah, we'll have to follow it up. And do you know that there was sequels? I think there's at least 1 or 2 sequels to this Street Fighter film, The Legend of Chun-Li. But they're not direct sequels. I think they're just like sort of spin-off types. Separate to this particular version.
No, never didn't care to.
I think they were straight to video
about that.
Yeah,
I could have judged that. Fucking hell. You got anything to add before, and not about the film? Anything else you want to add before we end this?
Just that, yeah. No. No. For a change, I've actually nothing more to say.
You know what? I did get something from Street Fighter.
What did
Trevor,
you get?
shut up. Trevor can't stop. That's it.
That's how good Street Fighter is, because it actually gets me to shut up and actually just sit there and just be immersed in the storytelling prowess and the sort of creme de la creme of, the acting magnum opus of the likes of Kylie and Van.
You know what they could do for military purposes? If they want to create a super soldier now, they can just put someone in a tube, lock them in there, and make them watch Street Fighter over and over again. And
those images would turn anyone violent.
yeah, there you go. So if you guys want a super soldier idea, make them watch this shit. All right, guys, we're out of here. Take care of yourselves, and we'll talk soon.